there and one of our committee members present. So with that, I'll turn the call over to Chairman Flores.
Thank you, Malu. Good afternoon. This is Regent Don Flores. Welcome to the Telephonic Academic and Health Affairs Committee meeting for Monday, November 6th, 2023. For the record, the time is 2:01. This meeting has been duly posted with the Secretary of State as required by the Open Meetings Law. Please note that the audio of this meeting is being broadcast live. Before we take a roll call, I'd like to remind everyone to please mute their phones unless you need to speak. Malu, let's begin the roll call with the regents.
Thank you. Starting with you, Regent Flores.
Present.
Regent Lee.
Present.
Thank you. And I've noted that Regent Gordy is absent. I see we also have Regent Fasky on the call.
Present.
Thank you. Do we have any other regents on the call? Thank you. And Chair Flores, I'll move on to our system staff. Chancellor McCall.
Here.
Vice Chancellor Hayek.
Here.
Sean Cunningham.
Here.
Daniel Harper.
Here.
Derek Alexander.
Here.
Mike Winmute. I see he was here. He might have just left. Nellie Herrera.
Here.
Carol Fox.
Here.
Piers Mitchell.
Here.
Great, thank you. I'm moving to our institutions, beginning with Lamar University.
Jaime Taylor, President, Lamar University.
Vicki McNeil, VP for Student Engagement.
Dan Brown, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
And that's
Thank
it.
Thank you. Sam Houston.
Elisa White.
Mike Stevenson.
Thank you. Moving to Saul Ross.
Carlos Hernandez.
Bernie Cantons.
Thank you both. Texas State.
Kelly Damphus.
Jean Bourgeois.
Thank you. Moving on to LIT.
Sid Valentine and Angela Hill.
Wonderful, thank you. Lamar State College Orange.
Tom Johnson and Wendy Elmore.
That's good. And Lamar State College Port Arthur.
Betty Renard and Dr. Pam Millsap.
Thank you very much. Did I miss anyone? All right, thank you. That concludes roll call. I'll go ahead and turn it to Chair Flores.
Thank you, Malu. I'd also note that Dr. Heck had a chance to brief me on the agenda items last week. So at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to Dr. Heck, who will present the Academic and Health Affairs Committee agenda items.
Thank you very much, Chair Flores. We'll start with 3A. This is a Texas State item, revising the mission statement and shared values for the institution, as well as a review of the 23-29 university plan. President Damphus.
Thank you, John, very much. And thank you, Chair Flores, for the chance to share a little bit about what we're doing with our new mission statement and shared values for Texas State University. Focus mainly on the fact that we have developed a new strategic plan that we have titled Hopes and Aspirations High, which comes from our alma mater song that we have used as our inspiration for creating a university that lifts both the hopes and the aspirations of the students, faculty, and staff who come to Texas State University. Our mission statement is very similar to what we had in the past. You can see it there in the documents before you. I will note that our university plan and goals that are set from 2023 through 2029 include the goal of supporting and expanding student success, advancing academic excellence, including our Run to R1 and academic programming on our Round Rock campus, includes increasing enrollment plans as well. The third goal is expanding discovery, innovation, research creativity, and research efforts, and that is firmly focused on our Run to R1. And then our university goal number 4 of enriching community collaboration and partnerships, which talks about enhancing our international and national reputation of the university, expanding our international programming and recruiting of international students coming to Texas State University. And then finally, our university goal number 5 is developing infrastructure and resources which we hope will make Texas State University an employer of choice, and also providing the research or the infrastructure that is needed to expand our research capacity on our campus. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Any questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Lee,
I agree.
Regent Gordy, Regent Foskey,
I agree.
thank you. Next item, please.
Great, thank you, Regent Flores. Regent Flores or Chair Flores, if it's okay with you, the 3B, 3C, 3D, 3E, and 3F are all new program proposals from Lamar Institute of Technology, and they're all very similar in terms of engineering technology related. And so if it's okay with you, I might have President Valentine or Dr. Hill kind of move through one at a time and possibly vote as a group, so we don't have to vote separately for each one of them since they're similar but different.
Thank you.
President Valentine?
Dr. Hill, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Valentine. Good afternoon, everyone. In an attempt to be responsive, LIT is presenting 5 new programs that will aid in meeting the growing demand of engineering technicians in the workforce. So starting with the first motion, we are requesting permission to offer an Associate of Applied Science in Biomedical Engineering Technician program. The Associate of Applied Science in Biomedical Engineering Technician is designed to provide training for students to pursue a career as a biomedical engineering technician. According to the data from the Texas Workforce Commission, Texas has a projected 5% annual growth rate for biomedical engineering technicians. In Southeast Texas specifically, the annual growth rate is 7%. U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a median salary of $69,250. And with this degree, a student can seek a career in the healthcare industry as a biomedical engineering technician. Moving to the next motion, LIT is requesting permission to offer an Associate of Applied Science and Computer Engineering Technician program. The Associate of Applied Science and Computer Engineering Technician is designed to provide training for students to pursue a career as a computer engineering technician. According to the data from the Texas Workforce Commission, Texas has a projected 19% annual growth rate for computer engineering technicians, and in Southeast Texas, the annual growth rate is 12%. The projected median salary for this profession is $78,000, and with this degree, students can seek a career in all aspects of industry as a computer engineering technician. Moving to the next motion, LIT is requesting permission to offer an Associate of Applied Science in Electromechanical Engineering Technician. The Associate of Applied Science and Electromechanical Engineering Technician is designed to provide training for students that are interested in pursuing an electromechanical engineering technician profession. According to the data from the Texas Workforce Commission, Texas has a projected 12% annual growth, and in Southeast Texas, a 10% annual growth rate for electromechanical engineering technicians. The median salary for this profession is $72,800, and with this degree, a student can seek a career in all aspects of industry as an electromechanical technician. Next, LIT is requesting permission to offer an Associate of Applied Science in Electronics Engineering Technician program. This program is designed to provide training for students to pursue a career as an electronics engineering technician. Texas Workforce Commission projects an 18% annual growth rate of electronics engineering technicians, and in Southeast Texas, we are foreseeing a 12% annual growth rate. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a median salary of $68,500 for this profession, and students interested in this career will then be qualified for all aspects of industry for the electronics engineering technician profession. Next, the motion is LIT is requesting permission to offer an Associate of Applied Science in Robotics and Automation Technician program. This program is designed to provide training of students that are wishing to pursue a career in robotics and automation. According to the Texas Workforce Commission, It has a projected 14% annual growth rate for robotics and automation technicians in Southeast Texas. We are foreseeing an annual growth rate of 11%. This has a projected median salary of $72,800, and students interested in this career will be able to qualify for any aspects of the industry as a robotics and automation technician. Dr. Haig, that ends the 5 new programs for engineering technicians.
Great, thank you very much. I'll turn it over to you, Chair Flores.
Thank you. Committee members, do you have any questions on any of the 5 motions from LIT?
No, sir.
If not, Regent Lee, do you support the 5?
I support.
Regent Gordy is still not on the line, so Regent Foskey, do you agree to move the items to the full board?
I do.
Thank you. Dr. Haig?
Thank you, Chair Flores. The next item is another Lamar Institute of Technology. Item 3G is the review and reaffirmation of their mission statement. President Valentine?
Dr. Hill, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So LIT's next motion is just to request a review of LIT's existing mission statement. According to the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission of Colleges, requires that all institutions' mission statements is current and comprehensive, that it accurately guides the institution's operations, and is periodically reviewed and updated, is approved by the governing board, and is communicated to the institution's constituencies. LIT's mission statement currently reads, Lamar Institute of Technology provides innovative teaching and learning for tomorrow's workforce. LIT's current mission statement was initially approved by the Texas State University System Board of Regents at the February 2019 board meeting. The mission was also presented a part of the strategic plan back in November of 2020. At this time, we're bringing it forth for review for November of 2023. Thank you.
And just as a side note, Dr. Haig, we were going to update our mission this year, but we're advised by our VP at SACS not to, because we're right in the middle of reaffirmation. So that's why we're standing with the current mission as it currently is.
Great, thank you very much. Chair Flores?
Thank you. Do committee members agree to move this item to the full board? Regent Lee?
I approve.
Regent Foskey?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Back to you, Joe.
Great, the next item 3H is a Lamar State College Orange new program proposal for a basic electrician helper certificate and an intermediate electrician academy certificate and an electrical technology associate of applied science degree. President Johnson?
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Elmore.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Thank you, Dr. Haig and board. So Lamar State College Orange has been approached by several local employers that are in desperate need to hire electricians. And we also know that the employment rate of electricians is projected to grow in the next decade about 6%, which is faster than the average for all occupations. There are over 70,000 openings for electricians projected each year on average and throughout the decade. And it also is worth noting that it is an occupation that is included on Southeast Texas's targeted occupation list, signifying that this career field offers both good employment growth prospects and wages. With about $80 billion in announced and proposed industrial projects along the Sabine-Neches waterways, electricians will play an integral part in supporting this growth. The basic electrician helper certificate is designed to be the entry point for dual credit students and will be fully stackable to the intermediate electrician academy certificate as well as the associate of applied science. The proposed program will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. I appreciate your consideration and will entertain any questions.
Any questions? Do committee members agree to move the items to the full board? Regent Lee?
I agree.
Regent Foskey?
I agree.
Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Hyatt.
Great, thank you, Chair Flores. The next two items, 3I and 3J, are informational only items. They do not require a vote. 3I is a certified enrollment report for summer of 2023. At the system level, headcount enrollment decreased slightly by about 4% with mixed results across the system. Fall preliminary enrollment results are positive across the system. The institutions reported a collective record preliminary enrollment exceeding 90,000 headcount for the first time, up 3% from last year, and SCH is also up by 3% to over 1 million in the preliminary fall results. With that, we'll move on to consent agenda items. Our first 3 items are from Lamar University. President Taylor.
Vice Chancellor Hayek, I'm going to turn it over to Provost Dan Brown.
Good afternoon from Beaumont, Texas. We have 3 consent agenda items from Lamar University for consideration this afternoon. The first is to change the name of a current Master of Education degree program housed in the Department of Teacher Education. It was originally titled a Master of Education in Literacy, Leadership, and Urban Education. We wish to change that to the Master of Education in Literacy Leadership. This program has a strong foundation in its curriculum. Unfortunately, the title of the program is creating some challenges with recruiting students who truly, don't understand what it means. It is a literacy education type program, but furthermore, it's also confusing in that it hints that students from all demographic areas might not be interested in this program. It is truly not simply an urban program, it is a Texas program. So we would like approval to change that name to the Master of Education in Literacy Leadership. Our second request is in our Center for Port Management and Science. We are simply requesting from the Center for Advancement in Port Management to decrease the number of hours for our master's degree program from 36 to 30. We believe this will bring us more into alignment with other programs, not only at Lamar University, but other workforce-related programs of this type across the nation. And it will especially be useful to our mid-career students who may be interested in developing additional skills that will help them advance within their careers. It is, as I'm very pleased with, it's very aligned with that specific career path in ports and port management. Our final request is that we add a concentration to our Bachelor of Fine Arts and Studio Arts with a concentration in illustration. Our Department of Art has done well in its enrollment over the past couple of years. And as part of that development toward more, I hesitate to say workforce, but the desire of this program is to give students options that would allow them to transition into the fields of commercial illustration, animation, and game design. We're seeing large numbers of students who especially have that last area of interest in game design. And we believe this will be a very productive concentration within that BFA program in studio arts at Lamar University. And that concludes our request for this Board of Regents meeting.
Great, thank you, Dr. Brown. If any questions from the regents on those 3 items? If not, we'll move on to 3O, which is a Sam Houston State University item, a new certificate program. President White.
I'm going to ask Provost Stevenson to present. Thank you.
Thank you, President White. This is a request for an undergraduate certificate in communication for health and social care professionals. It's an 18-semester credit hour undergraduate certificate intended for students interested in careers in health and social care industry. It can be completed face-to-face, online, or hybrid modalities. The target occupations related to communication studies are expected to increase for the state by about 12.2% and nationally 8% over the next 10 years. The healthcare industry skill gaps reveal that job postings from 2021 to 2023 indicate that about 50% of healthcare industry employers are seeking communication skills, but less than 6% of individuals in the related workforce report having such skills. That concludes our request.
Thank you, Dr. Stevenson. Any questions? If not, we'll move on to 3P. And actually, we have, I think, about 10 LIT consent items. And President Valentine or Dr. Hill, would you like to start on these?
Dr. Hill, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. So starting with the first, LIT is requesting permission to add a level 1 certificate in aesthetics. So upon the recommendation of the advisory committee, the level 1 aesthetic certificate is designed to provide training for students that are looking to have a career as an esthetician. With the certificate, a student can seek this career by performing facials, hair removal, and other treatments to help maintain a client's appearance. Graduates will acquire the skills in the skincare maintenance, facials, and salon development concepts that are needed in entry-level positions. According to the data from the Texas Workforce Commission, Texas has a projected 38.4% growth rate for 2020 to 2030. The median salary of this profession is $39,780. Moving to the next consent item, we're requesting permission to delete our Associate of Science in Computer Information Systems Award. This award was initiated back in fall 2016. Due to low enrollment and this no longer being a viable award, LIT is looking to deactivate the award from our course inventory. The award will be deleted according to the requirements and the guidelines set forth by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Moving to letter R, consent. The deletion of the Associate of Science in the Mathematics Award. This too was an award that was initiated back in fall 2016 and consisted of core curriculum and 18 hours of mathematics courses. Due to low enrollment in this major, which prevented the award from being viable, there's no active students enrolled in the Associate of Science in Mathematics, and LIT is looking to deactivate the award. The award will be deleted according to the requirements and guidelines set forth by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Moving to letter S. LIT is requesting permission to revise the Associate of Applied Science in Nursing Award. Upon the recommendation of our Nursing Program Advisory Committee, our Associate of Applied Science in Nursing, also known as our Associate Degree in Nursing, is being revised to add a nursing pathophysiology course to better align students with the concept-based curricular requirements. In making this revision, we have revised our healthcare concepts 1, 2, and 3 to light courses of healthcare concepts 1, 2, and 3, where we're still maintaining the required 60-hour credit limits, but we are decreasing the credit hour per course. Also with the healthcare concepts, that's what allowed it for the 4-hour course, where we could have added the nursing pathophysiology course. Also in this revision, we are increasing our total contact hours from the 80 contact hours to 112. This will help better prepare students in areas of clinical reasoning, clinical judgment, and evidence-based practice, cultural competence, and patient-centered care. Moving to letter T, LIT is requesting permission to also revise our Associate of Applied Science in the Process Operating Technology Award. Currently in our Process Technology Operating Award, students are taking general chemistry. We are now changing it to introductory chemistry 1 lab and lecture courses, where this is more applicable to process operating students, which are non-science major students. Next, letter U, LIT is requesting permission to revise our level 1 certificate in Environmental Technology Award. Upon the recommendation of the advisory committee, this degree plan is being updated, where we're adding a transferable physics course as opposed to the non-transferable physics course that was currently on the degree plan. Moving next to letter V, LIT is requesting permission to revise our Associate of Applied Science and Level 2 certificate in Emergency Medical Technician Paramedics Awards. Upon the recommendation of the advisory committee, these awards are being updated to remain aligned with the external accreditation of COAMP to meet the standards. Also, in an interest to meet the high demand of workforce shortage for paramedics, we have also built in the acceleration of our program, where we are incorporating 8-week classes along with our 16-week courses. In doing so, this will shorten the program from 4 semesters of completion to 3 semesters. Students will also now take a specialized anatomy and physiology course to better expand their knowledge and pathophysiology and important concepts based on homeostasis. Students will also now have an opportunity on the associate's degree plan to take supervision and management courses that will help them as they pursue future career advancement after graduation. Moving to letter W, LIT is requesting permission to revise our introduction to computing with our business computer applications. Upon the review of our college's course inventory, we saw that our business computer applications course, BCIS 1305 course, has now replaced our introduction to computing COSC 1301 course. The introduction to computing course is no longer being taught at the college. This revision will immediately affect awards in the following programs of occupational safety and health, industrial mechanic, and our heating, ventilation, and air conditioning programs. Moving to letter X, LIT is requesting permission to delete the Diagnostic Cardiac Sonography Advanced Technical Certificate. This award was added to the course inventory a few years back per the recommendation of advisory committee members as well as healthcare professions. However, over the years, this award has not received any interest or enrollment. Through revisions over the past several years, the courses that was once in the Advanced Technical Certificate is now placed in the original award for the Associate of Applied Science in Diagnostic Cardiac Sonography degree. Therefore, this advanced technical certificate is no longer needed. The award will be deleted according to the requirements and guidelines set forth by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Lastly, letter Y. LIT is also requesting permission to delete another advanced technical certificate that we have on inventory, which is the Diagnostic Medical Sonography Advanced Technical Certificate. This award, once again, was presented a few years back by the recommendation of advisory committees and committee members and healthcare professions. Over the years, the award has not received any interest or enrollment. And so through this revision over the past several years, the courses that are in this award have been implemented into our Associate of Applied Science in Diagnostic Medical Sonography degree. Therefore, this advanced technical certificate is no longer needed. The award will be deleted according to the requirements and guidelines set forth by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Dr. Haig, this concludes LIT's consent items, and I will answer any questions that we may have.
Great, thank you very much, Dr. Hill. It's an enormous amount of work, and appreciate all your efforts and your team efforts on those. Just making sure that all those programs are aligned with supply and demand in the market. Greatly appreciated. Chair Flores, or any other regents, any questions on those items? Hearing none, we'll move on to several Lamar State College Orange consent items. President Johnson or Dr. Elmore?
Thank you, Dr. Hayek. Lamar State College Orange is proposing to modify their Associate of Arts in Teaching degree in order to better align with the Bachelor of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies at partnering universities. Specifically, geography will be the designated course to satisfy the social and behavioral science core curricular requirement. This revised program will meet all the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, as well as the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Additionally, we are seeking to modify the Criminal Justice Law Enforcement Certificate of Completion in order to better support the law enforcement field by permitting individuals with a current Texas Commission on Law Enforcement TCOL license the opportunity to articulate prior learning demonstrated via their active license for criminal justice law enforcement college credit. Again, this revised program will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, as well as the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. And lastly, we are seeking approval to modify our current core curriculum. While it currently meets all the requirements set forth by Texas Administrative Code, This proposal intends to broaden the number of courses in our creative arts, language, philosophy, and culture, and the component area options. The modification will increase the transferability of LSEO's academic degree plans by maximizing courses that are applicable to the student's core curriculum, while also applying to their major at the transferring institution to the greatest extent possible. The modified core curriculum will meet all the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. That concludes Lamar State College Orange consent agenda items. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Elmore. Hearing no questions, we will move on to the 3CC, Lamar State College, Port Arthur. President Renard or Dr. Millsap?
Good afternoon. This is Dr. Millsap. Lamar State College, Port Arthur would like to request approval for the creation of 2 new certificate programs. The first, it would be a certificate in barbering. This is a level 1 certificate designed to prepare a student for the barbering profession. It's a 28 semester credit hour certificate designed to be completed in 2 semesters, and it would meet the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation requirements for a barbering license. This is a program that we're hoping to offer not only on campus, but also in correctional institutions. Because there's been a special request for it in those institutions. And then the second certificate that we are requesting approval for is a level 1 certificate in patient care technician. This is a certificate that is 15 semester credit hours. It's designed to be completed in 2 semesters. And it would meet the requirements for students to take the certification exam for patient care technician through the National Healthcare Association. The important thing about this certificate, and it did come about through discussions with our advisory committee for nurse aid, this certificate would allow students who also completed their nurse aid certificate to be employable not only in long-term settings, but also in acute care settings. So we request permission for this patient care technician certificate. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Great, thank you, Dr. Millsap. The final 2 items are 3EE and 3FF. The Chair Flores will note that 3EE actually are miscellaneous curriculum changes, and the system did pass a rule change on these changes a couple meetings ago, and really we'll see less of these reports moving forward since they're no longer necessary to report on a quarterly basis. And 3FF are miscellaneous out-of-state, out-of-country study programs. And that is the end of our consent items. Chair Flores.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hayek. Committee members, unless someone wishes to pull an item from the consent agenda, I move that all items move forward to the full board with a single vote. Do you agree, Regent Lee?
I agree.
Regent Koski?
I agree.
Thank you. I think that concludes ours. Thanks to everyone for calling in. Unless there's further discussion, this concludes our telephonic meeting today. I look forward to seeing everyone next week for the board meeting in Southeast Texas, a hop and a skip and a jump from El Paso. And for those who haven't voted, vote tomorrow. And for the record, the time is 2:35. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.